Okay, that's good.
That was... I did not expect it to go that way, but that was perfect, I guess. Because that's the type of quality content that people apparently love, because people have been saying that the Yorm thing that I was hesitant to post, because like back, I still remember when I recorded it, I was like, there's like, the content isn't like, it's not too interesting.
No.
And like, I felt like it wasn't like going anywhere, and then at the end it got really salty. So I was like, and then I thought, well, you said some funny stuff, so maybe I could take like a couple of funny clips and the like the fanfics and just put them in the outtakes. And even then I was worried that it might be a little bit too salty. But anyway, I did it, I put it in the outtakes and I posted it, and people liked it. And then I kind of forgot about this podcast completely.
Yeah.
And now I'm cleaning out my hard drive for these podcasts or whatever, and I stumbled on it, and I was like, what is this? And then I listened to it, and it's already like, it was pretty much edited, so it's like, so I guess I was like, I wasn't sure, and then so I did edit it out, like, you know what I mean? I did clean it out, and then I'm like, no, in the end I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do this. So and I'm like, well, you know what? We've done worse.
Yeah, we have.
After all this time. So I posted it, and some people are like, this is amazing. Why did you give it to yourself for so long?
Neo Lucky messaged me to say, and she was like, wow, you're really laying into Yorm in this. And I was like, when did we talk about Yorm? And I remembered, that was like months ago.
It was like half a year ago.
Yeah, she's just like, it's just somehow escaped.
That's amazing. Yeah, so I found... So there were a couple that I honestly did not remember happened, and the thing is, these things are edited. Like, they're cleaned out, they're like...
Yeah.
So it's like, so I thought I did it, and then I thought about it, and I'm like, no, I better not post it. This is not good content.
So it was some kind of, like, fugue state, where you just edited everything and then forgot about it.
Yeah. But, yeah. It's interesting how the channel has changed.
It's gotten worse, which people prefer to the original version.
Yeah.
Yeah. The worse it gets, the more they like it. But I worry there's going to be like a point where it gets so bad that they actually stop liking it. We have to like, it's like this absolute like tightrope walking, like we're on a knife's edge.
No, that's when it gets really bad, we must do something horrible. That's when we're gonna do your face reveal.
But people already know what I look like.
That's not the point. I just burned you. I said we're gonna do something horrible, your face reveal, and your reply is, oh, they already know what I look like.
Yeah. But I'm so used to being insulted at this point that it just...
I broke you down so I can build you up and make you better.
Into what?
Into a human being.
What if I mention that the cat's finished sneezing? And then people are like, wait, what cat? What's sneezing? And the answer is, you've got to subscribe on patreon.com to get the full story of the cat sneezing, which is apparently going up as an unlisted Patreon video. That I've just spoiled because that's pretty much the extent of it. The cat is sneezing and we can't record because the background is...
Can I be honest with you right now?
When have you not been honest?
I have a feeling that when we talk about Patreon, it's so ridiculous. I have a feeling people don't believe that it exists. Like, I wouldn't believe it. I feel like that's a funny joke those two are saying. Good.
Yeah, I'm involved and I don't believe it's real. I don't believe it's real and I don't believe people are paying for it because it's all terrible.
Well, it's not. No. Okay. Say the truth, Richie. There's several tiers from like $2 to $20. For $2, you get the best content.
Yeah. It's an interesting pricing structure where the more you pay, the worse it gets.
Yes. Oh no, and I forgot to tell you, or maybe you saw it. I have a $50 tier now. Did you see it?
What the fuck is that?
It's beautiful. You will love it. Let me send you a link. You will be like, okay, you have to see it. I send you now. Okay, scroll down, look at the right, and look at the $50 tier.
Is this going to be about me?
Maybe. Indirectly.
You get nothing. You might get banned.
Now we play the waiting game. And it's the only limited one, so I can only have 5 people at a time. The rest are unlimited.
So if $250 is spent just people getting banned from your Discord.
Okay, let's focus on the podcast. You ready?
Okay, yep.
Okay.
15 minutes, we've got it out of our systems.
Okay, so the podcast is going through a couple of renovations.
Yep.
So one thing that I've been thinking about for a while, and I thought maybe I should go back and do it, but then it's too complicated, is that we're going to start, like, numbering the episodes. So it's, like, legit. Yeah.
Right. Are we going to start with this one, or are you going to go back and number the old ones?
No. Whereas this is going to be episode 1.
Oh, so this is the reboot.
This is the reboot, exactly.
Another thing I've noticed is that I'm not sure exactly at what point it happened, but apparently I am now the co-host rather than a recurring guest on your channel. It's just, what are we going to do with our podcast?
Well, it's been like that for months. How did you not notice?
Well, because I thought you just, like, I was showing up a lot because you knew me. You could contact me on Discord. But apparently I'm the co-host now. Okay, fine.
Things evolve,
Yep,
Richie.
That's fine.
The world moves. It doesn't say stay still, okay?
That's the dialectic, yes.
Okay. And another thing we're gonna start doing, because I noticed and it's not just in podcasts, in a lot of lore videos, when people do them, they're like, "Hi, my name is blah blah blah, and this is blah 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 blah," and like, "Welcome, blah blah." Like, I never do that, and you'll notice I don't think I ever did it.
No,
not even in my old videos. It was just like, get in, read the lore, get out, because I'm terrified. I'm bad like this. I cannot do it.
Yeah, do you know why I never did that?
Why?
Because you can see when you watch the video that my name's down the bottom. And it shows you who it is, so it seemed redundant to announce that.
Yeah, well, you know why I never said, subscribe? It's because YouTube has been around for, 10 years or more. I'm pretty sure people know how to use it by now, so if they want to subscribe, they'll subscribe. That's my logic. I don't need to tell them how to use YouTube. It's a little insulting. So
smash that like button.
Yeah, if you like the video, you like it. You know that the button's there. You're not blind. I don't know. Maybe we should. Maybe people do it because it works.
Yeah, that's exactly why they do it. No, but every single thing you hear repeatedly in those YouTube videos is there because that's what's... if you just say, hey, remember to subscribe, that will net you a few extra subscribers every time it happens.
Really? It never worked on me.
Oh, yeah, but we're not popular.
No, I mean, it never worked on me when I watch other people's videos. Regardless of whether they tell me or not,
I sometimes feel like I'm subscribed to Watch Mojo because it's always recommended for me. So it feels that not only do I not want to watch it, I don't have a choice.
But I'm only subscribed to a couple of channels, and yours is one of them.
Yeah? Do you smash the like button?
Every fucking day, bro.
Thank you.
I just smash it. I'm like, upload more! Which you may do in the near future.
Yeah, I might. We'll see.
We'll see. We don't know, but it looks promising.
Does it?
Yes.
This is the thing where you're like, this is our new rebooted podcast.
Yeah.
What is there left to talk about?
Richie, I sat down the other day to just think about that. I was like...
I pictured you posed like the thinker. You're just sitting there with your... and just staring off into the distance, resting your chin on your hand, going,
Oh my god. No, but listen.
Yep.
Because I also would like the episodes to be more on one theme. Because right now it's like somebody's like, "Oh, did you talk about the executioners? Because I really like them." And I'm like, "Yes, please go see the last 5 minutes of the Moon Presence, the first 3 minutes of like the Madara's twin, and the middle of the Lawrence podcast."
Okay.
So it's like, so I think maybe if we have like more focus on one topic, it's just going to be easier for us and for the rest.
Yeah, for the 6 people who still care about the Bloodborne story in 2018.
I do this for the 6 people, you know, because the reason I wanted you to talk is because I was like lore starved and your lore helped me sleep at night. So that's why I wanted to do a collab with you, for me and for other people. And we were supposed to do like 2 or 3 episodes total. It just kind of got out of control.
I remember those days.
Yeah. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so one theme per episode, more or less, like type deal.
Okay.
And and we're gonna do a thing where we like mention someone in the community during the episode, so like other people can check it out. Like I tried to do that, but I forget. I don't do it consistently, you know. So so that would be cool, I think.
Okay.
You agree? You agree with everything, right?
Yeah.
Good. That came off a little aggressive. You agree, right?
As we discussed.
Oh, and yeah, we're gonna do outros, and that's mainly because like it was only like maybe 3 or 4 people that said it, but they were like, "Oh, I've been subscribed for a year. I didn't know you had a Discord. Like, I would have joined earlier." And it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like it's always in the description, but I just not like, and I write it on the thing, but I never mention it.
I never read YouTube descriptions.
Yeah.
That's how I didn't know what the theme song was called until like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, "Oh, it's called Up in My Jam."
And you were so proud when you found it. You're like, "I found it." And I'm like, yeah description.
Yeah.
My boyfriend just sent me 6 messages. It says, "Tell him!" exclamation point, then "Tell him" in caps, 3 exclamation points, then "About your new Discord link." Yeah, well, Rich already knows. He was very impressed with the new Discord link.
Oh, yeah, you
Can you tell us about the new Discord link?
You sent me a URL to a Discord link that is at the domain thesnackcovenant.com.
Yes, it's like thesnackcovenant.com/Discord, and that's how you get to the Discord. How exciting is that?
It is exciting.
Yeah, it was an impulse buy.
Yep.
Yeah, this is my, you know how some people like, "Oh, I bought like shoes or a necklace or clothes." It's like, domain.
Yeah.
Snack Covenant impulse buy. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. And what else is there? Oh yeah. Our podcast has a name now.
What is it?
You just said it.
I know. I was playing a little joke.
It's the Snack Covenant.
Yep.
I'm really excited.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. And, yeah.
Will the jingle be that recording of Aegon going, "Snack Covenant, what's that?"
No. Oh, man, that was so funny. Aegon's the best. He was, like, serious, and then he's like, I'm like, you know, Snack Covenant in every Dark Souls game and Bloodborne game. And he's like, "Yeah, name one." I was like, "Oh shit, I'm getting called out." So I had to be like, "The St. Clair Snack Covenant." And then he's like, "Haha, you troll." Because I was getting scared. Like, he's getting serious about this.
Yeah.
We should invite him on to talk about Yorm.
Well, you can invite him on to talk about Yorm and I'll do something else.
You will replay the Ringed City?
The thing is, like, the more that Lance digs up about Dark Souls 3, the more I kind of have to say about it, but...
Oh, I have good news for you, Richard. I think you'll like this one the best.
Okay.
You kind of know what it is, but I'm gonna, because you saw that renovation preview. So unless it's like low-key or maybe Sana or something like that, or cut content that you want to talk about, or unless you bring it up, I will never ask you to talk about Dark Souls 3 ever again. Are you so happy? Are you crying?
This is a very emotional moment for me.
It's because I played a game that shall remain nameless.
The Surge?
No. I was so... like, I haven't experienced that in so long. And that's when it clicked me. Like, you know, the clouds opened up and, like, light shined upon me. And I was like, is this how Richie feels about Dark Souls 3?
Is this going to be Fallout 76?
No. Fallout 76 is gonna be fine. I just talk shit, but I already bought like 14 carts of merchandise. Like,
that's fair.
Yeah, but no. So it's like I feel like I was taught a lesson that day.
Was it Brotherhood of Steel, the PlayStation 1 Fallout third-person action game everyone hates and is not canon?
Are you joking right now? What link did I send you where I'm like, oh my god, is this what Richie feels like?
When was this?
I literally sent it a few days ago.
You send me a lot of things.
It was the Order 1886.
Oh, right, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant it was going to be a new installment in an existing series you were interested in.
No. I was like, no. Order 1886 taught me empathy and understanding toward your dislike for Dark Souls 3.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not a monster. Like, come on, even I have limits.
But see, my issues with Dark Souls 3 is more discussing it at length, because I don't think there is a great deal... Like, the more you look at it, the less sense it makes. I think if like, I had just played it once, I don't think I would have cared that much.
Yeah, but it's fine, but it doesn't mean I should keep asking you about it and, like, prolonging your suffering.
Are we going to do an episode on the Order 1886?
No.
All I remember about the Order 1886 is that all the trailers made a huge deal out of the fact that what you were watching was in-game graphics. It wasn't pre-rendered.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's, that looks good, I guess, technically.
Yeah, like, they should have just made it into a movie, so at least it would have been, like, a really boring movie you could walk out on and not...
Isn't it, like, 3 hours long, and it's basically a prequel to a game that's now not going to be made?
Well, it's more like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like, it wasn't, like, the gameplay wasn't fun, and the whole story was like, you know, they have a couple of those computer animation cartoons?
Yeah.
And there's some that are really boring and really, like, uninteresting.
Yeah.
Like, even though they're cute or whatever, they're just not... Yeah, that's one of those. It's basically that,
right.
But in a game. And, like, the combat isn't fun, the controls are not, the stealth is not, like, nothing is there. And then it's illogical at some points where you're like, okay, why are you... Like, the characters' motivations are weird, like, their reactions are weird. Like, everything is like, huh? And then, well, what I was gonna be like, and I came in with, like, good expectations. I was like, no, I'm gonna be positive about it. And by the end of it, I was like, oh my god, I'm having, like, a mental breakdown on the stream. And there was this one point where I just couldn't get past. Like, I tried for about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what's going on. I can't. Like, I looked at it up on YouTube. I saw how to get past it. And, well, no, actually, it was funny because the person who was showing it was trying to. And then they couldn't, and then it cuts, and it's back there, but they have a more powerful weapon. So it's like, did you restart the game? And now you have a powerful weapon that you can actually finish it with? Like, I don't know. And so I was like, I kind of just like, you know, enough is enough.
You should have done what Darkside Phil did, where he couldn't beat the game, so he looked up the ending on YouTube and just played that in the stream. And said, here's what would have happened.
Well, I told people who were in the stream, I'm like, listen, I can't do this anymore. I tried my best.
Yep.
If we really want to, what we can do is we can go our separate ways, watch the ending on our own, and then talk about it another day. But I still didn't, and I don't know if I will.
Do you think that's the plan? That you can't beat it on stream, so everyone has to watch the ending on their own? So they all come away with a different interpretation, and it's all like this meta thing.
was a suggestion for people who maybe are interested. It's like, yeah. I was being helpful.
Okay. I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah, you were probably sleeping?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, you know what? We're already 20 minutes in.
Yes.
So this was supposed to be a 5-minute intro, and then we'll move on to the actual episode. But instead, let's expand on what we're talking about now. Because we're trying to keep it one theme oriented, right?
Yeah, but usually you would have planned the theme out rather than just randomly changing the subject to the Order 1886.
I have a theme, though.
What's your theme?
I thought, first of all, you didn't let me finish from The Thinker.
Go on.
So
this is wait, this is a callback. If this were in a movie, there would need to be an actual flashback at this point.
Okay, so what happened was, I sat down and I was like, okay, well, what themes do we still... Oh, sorry, another thing that I forgot to mention is that we're gonna cover different topics.
Oh, what? When? Where?
We're gonna cover different games or whatever.
Okay,
in this new podcast.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like, didn't I tell you that? Did I just practice it in my head and never
you suggested
said it out loud?
You suggested it, but now you're just announcing it.
Oh, I thought. Well, no. When I say stuff. Okay, Richie. When I say something, it's 50% suggestion, 50% implementation. It just depends on the day.
Okay.
So.
That's fair.
No, I didn't just suggest it because we're going to talk about Death Stranding.
Oh, God.
I told you, no. Do you think I was joking? I was like, we're going to talk about Death Stranding. I have researched. I have articles. I have Reddit threads. I have the trailers.
Okay. I have nothing. It's the opposite of every other podcast.
It's fine. I got this. It's okay. So, yeah. So, we're going to just cover, different topics. And yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, about the thing. So, I sat down and I thought, what can we talk about in the near future if we want to have more cohesive episodes or whatever. Yep. And just by sitting down for a few minutes, let me show you what I got. I'm trying to find it in the Word thing. It's called To Do Podcasts. Okay. So, and this is why I'm telling you I have a theme for this. Episode 0 is supposed to be how it all started. So we're supposed to talk about our experience and how this whole ordeal started.
It is an ordeal.
This is in no particular order, but the things we're going to talk about are Déraciné, Bloodborne, main story, Roma Breed's Moon Presence, Cause, and OOK cut content. That's the stuff you told me about, where stuff was switched around. And then we're going to talk about Executioners.
Right.
Then another episode is called Dark Souls Shit.
Is that about which bosses you can kill with dung pies?
No, but it can be if you want.
I killed the Capra Demon with them last night.
Okay, you know what? That's it. But you mentioned something a week ago. You're like, oh, some cut content said blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, we should talk about this Dark Souls shit. And then
yeah, but I can't remember what you mean by some content said blah, blah, blah. It's going to have to be a bit more defined.
I don't remember either. So this one is to be discussed. We'll figure it out. It's, Okay. Then there's Death Stranding. Then there's Shadow Tower Abyss.
Right.
Then there's the music episode. Yep. Then there's Nier. Then there's Jeremiah. Then there's Loki translations, which we recorded.
Yep.
Then there's The Wet Nurse.
Right.
Then there's Weird Monsters of Bloodborne, the ones with not a lot of lore.
Okay. Then
there's Holy Moonlight Blade throughout the From games.
Yep.
Then this one is an idea I had. It might be a patron-only thing where we examine each boss arena in terms of lore and environment. It's something that I'm interested in, so I
But
don't...
all of them? Won't that be like 10 hours long?
No, but that's why you do one by one. Like, each part is a little chapter.
Uh-huh.
Like volume 1 will be main game. Volume 2 will be like DLC, and then you
Just Bloodborne. I
Yeah,
thought you meant
yeah,
every
just
single Souls game.
What? Well, if you want, but I'm only...
Oh,
Because
no.
because you're really good at, like, examining the environment and, like, looking at things and connecting them, and I'm really curious about the boss arenas. So,
The Taurus demon is fought on a bridge.
is that Bloodborne?
No. The cleric beast is fought on a bridge.
God damn it, Richie! And then we're gonna talk about the messengers.
The living failures are fought on a bridge.
By this time, I'm hoping there's going to be more cut content for the messengers. Then, well, this one, what am I going to say now? Which podcast have I been procrastinating for about 4 months?
Viola?
No.
I don't know.
Are you for real? Do you even know me?
But you have, like, at any one time, a dozen podcast ideas that just randomly happen.
No, this is the one where you're like, oh, when are we doing it? And I'm like, I need more time to prepare. I only have 40 questions.
Oh, yeah, I know this. This is Mensis.
This is Mensis, that's right. Yeah. So, and then another one will be Executioners Part 2. And there's someone who's going to come on the podcast and talk about the Executioners again. So we'll have to do, like, Executioners Part 1 first, where I ask you some questions. So basically, total... not counting the patron boss arenas thing, it's 17 podcasts.
Okay.
And that's just something I came up with quickly, briefly.
Okay. That should see us out to the end of the year, I guess. Like if we did one a week.
When did we ever do one a week?
I'm just saying, if we did one a week.
Yeah.
Hypothetically. In reality, it'll probably last.
No, it's... What? Does the year have 17 weeks?
This year. Yeah.
This year, I see.
The remains of this year.
Also, it would depend, because sometimes, I'm not a normal human being. Sometimes I have 3 podcasts. Therefore, I have to release all 3 of them within the next 24 hours, and then I don't sleep.
That's okay. I understand.
Yeah, so it may be, hopefully, or maybe it's going to last us a month. So
yeah,
we're going to have to play it by ear. Okay. Okay, so I guess, and I'm going to try to have the podcasts, like, last a reasonable length of time.
Do you mean longer or shorter?
Like, let's say around an hour, but obviously it would depend on each thing. Maybe an hour and a half, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe, like, depending on the topic, but, like, try to do it around an hour, and,
Yeah, we can't all be Matthew Matosis.
Who's that?
He has some Dark Souls and Demon Souls videos that are, like, over 6 hours long.
No, we could easily. It's just that, like...
We will not be doing that.
Well, we did, though. We already, like, had, like, a 6 or 7 hour podcast, but it was many podcasts in one.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. No, I don't remember. That's the thing. I was so exhausted and, like, delirious during it that when I listened back to it, I don't remember saying any of that.
Well, the Ringed City that I released recently, the longer Ringed City one, was part of that set.
Yeah, I remember, my only firm memory of that is just saying to you, no, just keep going. Because I didn't want to have to deal with it tomorrow.
When I go to sleep, I worry. You're like, no, we do this. Yeah. I think we covered everything about, like, the new podcast thing.
Yeah.
But now, okay, so now I have to ask you, Richie, tell us, how did this whole thing start?
What are we going to consider the start? The first thing we released, or?
No, I think it started... No, I think... Okay.
Okay, it started you messaged me on... Okay, it technically started Christmas Eve 2016. No, 15,
Really?
2015. Christmas Eve 2015, I made a diagram of the runes on the Astral Clock Tower.
Yes.
Because that's my fucking life. Even back then, that's how I spent Christmas Eve.
Aww.
I posted it on Reddit. I think I was from as far as I know, which is just the English-speaking community, I was the first diagram that showed where every single rune was. Mm-hmm. That went on Reddit, and then you...
No, did you already had your channel and uploads by then, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so then it started before that, because
I made it for my video on the Astral Clock Tower.
Okay, so it started way before that.
Well, technically it started in March of 2015 when the video game Bloodborne was released.
Okay, there we go, yeah.
If you want to get that technical. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I made that diagram and then you messaged me on Reddit.
Okay, but that wasn't the first time I messaged you. How technical are we getting?
All right. You messaged me on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you said.
Okay, what I said was, like, hi, your channel's really awesome, and I just wanted to say you do, like, great lore, and you're super inspiring, and you, like, inspired me to start my own channel, and, like, blah, 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 like, just nice stuff to you.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, because I was one of your first, like, subscribers before, like, you hit, like, hundreds and all that shit.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and so you were like, oh, that's great, blah, blah, blah. I think I already had my channel going when I sent you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when it started. And then the second time I messaged you was when you released The Bastard's Curse, like, because it had, like, a lot of good ideas and a lot of good lore, and it sort of, like, inspired an idea in my head. So I messaged you and I'm like, hey, that's a cool video. Do you mind if I, like, take some of the stuff you mentioned and, like, create, like, my own story? And you were like, no, yeah, that's super, that's fine. Like, I'm not, you know, protective with my content.
That must have been very, very soon after I released it, because I remember just going dark on YouTube shortly after. Oh, no. The point at which I started going dark was after Vati linked it, and I just got this sudden... This is not a complaint about Vati, but I got this sudden, like, just everything blew up and I couldn't, like, reply to everything, and I just had to be like, I'm just gonna not look at this for a while. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the second time I messaged you, and then what happened was I was working on a video on runes, and I was like, oh, I remember JSF had this big diagram on runes. And I'm like, I need it. Yeah, and the reason I need it is because you, like, found this one thing where it looked like a phantasm party where they're all like, woohoo.
Yeah, the wriggly one, yeah. Entwined Metamorphosis, which is a stupid name, yeah.
No, it was cool. And so I was like I wanted the diagram with the screenshot because I was going to mention it. And then, so I went to your channel and I was looking for it, but I couldn't find it. I don't know why. I'm like, I'm sure I saw it here and I just couldn't. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'll Google it. Maybe Google will tell me where it is. And so I Googled it, and then Google took me on Reddit, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then I saw a thread by this dude named Richard Peelbeam, right?
Yeah, him.
And then I'm like, that's weird. And then I read it, and it's like, clearly Richard Peelbeam, like, did this. So I was like, that's very weird, because I thought GSF did it. Then I'm like, well, maybe they collabed, maybe, like, whatever, but clearly this is a creator, so I'll message him and ask him if I could use it. So that's when I messaged you about it. And I was like, you know, hi, how are you? Like, do you mind if I use your thing you have over here? It's really cool. And you replied with, and that was kind of odd to me, but I didn't pay much attention at the time. You were like, yeah, of course, go ahead. I'm not protective with my content, which is what, like, almost word for word where JSF replied, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't pay it no mind. So then I think it was like a few days later, I was talking to someone about runes. I don't know if it was on a forum, on a Discord, whatever. And then the person was like, oh yeah, JSF made a really cool diagram. And then they linked the diagram of the clock tower. And I was like, you know, like, I'm thinking, fine, we all love JSF, but give credit where credit is due, sir. Like, so I was like, well, actually, it wasn't JSF, it was Richard Peelbeam.
Actually.
And then the person was like, JSF. And I'm like, Richard Peelbeam. And then, I don't know. And then at some point, either the person told me, or I'm like, wait a minute, are they the same person? Like, what the F? So I, like, anyway, I was not sure. So then I went back and I messaged Richard Peelbeam on Reddit being like, hey, so I heard someone told me you're JSF. And your reply was literally like, yes, with a dot. And then I was like, I don't know what I wrote. Something nice, probably like, oh, I really like your lore. You're really great. Thank you. And then I think you replied to that. And so I was like, well, while I have you here, do you mind if I ask you a little question that, like, you didn't answer in any of your videos and I would really like an answer to? And I think it was about the wet nurse. And so you replied. And then I was like, oh, do you mind if I ask you another little question? Yeah. And then you replied. And I was like, do you mind if I ask you? And then went on for I don't know how long. And then you were like, oh, I have a PhD to do, blah, 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 so I'm not going to reply as often. But I joined your Discord. And I'm like, oh, my God, JSF joined my Discord. But then a funny thing happened, which I think was the turnaround point in this whole thing. Because, like, we kind of still talked on Discord, but also when you join my Discord, you will notice that everyone has a princess name in front of their actual name. So when you joined, I'm like, oh, my God. So JSF is going to join. He's going to see everybody's name as like princess. He's going to think we're idiots. And he's going to be like, this is the worst Discord ever. So, but then a couple of days into it, I saw your name was like Princess Richard. And I'm like, oh, he's an idiot, just like the rest of us.
Oh.
Yeah.
And since that day, my life has never known peace.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then we sort of, like, mostly it was me asking you questions and you having all the answers. And I was like, oh my God, finally things make sense. I can sleep again. And that went on for a while.
I was just surprised and continue to be surprised that people still care. Because, like, Bloodborne is over 3 years old at this point. And I didn't think people were still that interested in knowing things about it outside of I have friends in the fandom who are obviously still very into it, but that accounts for like a dozen people. I didn't think anyone outside of that actually cared.
Well, I think like, yeah, we do, because there's a lot of things, like Bloodborne is an awesome game and there's awesome lore, but a lot of things sort of left unanswered. But that's why these podcasts sort of started and continued, because at some point I asked you, like, could we do a collab on a couple of things, like Mensis, what was it, Aldrich, Lothric, and something else?
The Queen of Lothric, I think, was the first one.
Yeah, and then the definitions. And you were like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and now you know about my pants window.
Now I know about your pants window. It's sort of evolved from there. Yeah, but to think about it, it's kind of interesting when it's like there was really no plan. It was like a couple of podcasts. And like,
I think anyone listening to this for any length of time is aware that there's no plan.
Well, there is now. We're gonna number the episodes.
It's a brave new approach.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Richard, tell us your side of the story.
I was writing a whole lot of stuff, and occasionally I would check Reddit. And you were asking me questions, and I would reply to them, and then... From memory, like, we started talking to each other over like, Discord like this. Like, you were calling me. And then... No?
No, texting. We never actually talked, voice talked before we did the Lothric podcast.
Oh, okay. From memory, what happened was we were just talking, and then one of us, you think it was you and I think it was me, I can't remember, said, why don't we just release us talking? Like, because you were like, oh, I from memory, you said, like, I want to make a video about this subject. Can you, like, go over it with me? Yeah. And then I was like, well, if we're going over the subject together, it could just be that. Like, it doesn't need to be
maybe
one person talking. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. And it was, yeah, that's right. Because
Yeah.
because I made my Queen of Lothric video, and I thought your ideas were awesome. So I was like, how do I want to make a second video with like GSF's ideas, but it was like convoluted and complicated. And then I think you may have suggested, like, why don't we just do that? And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened.
The snakes haven't stopped coming since that day.
Yeah, snakes began manifesting in my house physically.
Well, you do live in Australia.
That's true.
So, which podcast is your favorite?
Of ours?
Yeah.
Maybe the Yorm outtakes one.
Well, that doesn't exist anymore on the channel because I made it private because I have the whole Yorm thing on here.
Oh god. Because I think that was the point where we just decided to just talk. Because that was, we just sort of went off script and started talking to each other. And it was a bit more natural. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the earlier ones, and I noticed that when I was listening to the earliest ones, where it's just like me asking you questions very quietly and nervously.
Yeah.
And you talking. And then me, like, not making jokes or making fun of you.
And then you found your voice.
I found my voice.
It was an inspirational moment.
Yes. I wonder when that happened.
It was a gradual process of you sort of, like, needling me and seeing how far you can push me. And then it turned out that there's really no limit.
Yeah. Poor Richie. This is your life now.
Well, I've been doing this for, be like, 5 hours, I think. Since we started. Since we started talking with Loki.
Yeah, that was 2.5 hours.
Are you
And
sure?
this is... Yeah. No, I stopped it at like 2.5 because I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, but okay, fine.
What?
I was gonna say that like there was a period of an hour in the middle where we weren't talking.
Oh yeah. No, but that doesn't count. We weren't talking.
Okay, fine.
Can I release an 1 hour silence podcast?
Release an hour of silence and people will still find problems with it. Once again, Richard is completely wrong. What actually happened was...
Oh my god, I'm gonna do it.
Alright.
This is going to be done. Oh my god, that's gonna be in the $50 Yorshka tier.
I've got a DVD where the commentary track is just one of the people in it reading War of the Worlds.
Why?
It's just completely unrelated to anything that was on the actual show. Another one is just a dog barking.
Why?
I think they were required to do commentary tracks and didn't want to do them. Because it was on a sketch comedy show, and like it is.
Oh, okay.
It is difficult to come up with things to say about comedy sketches that are 30 seconds long, so they just went for absurdity.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
That's actually cool. So we're sort of approaching a 1 hour mark.
Yeah.
So I guess this could be like episode 0.
I thought the origin. Like those comic books. Yeah, those comic books that do issue 0 as the character's origin. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a flashback episode of the podcast set in 2017. We have to put a lot of effort into making sure everything is period accurate.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add?
Not really.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, now you gotta do the outro.
Who listened to this? It feels like cheating to make anyone listen to this, because it's literally just a description of some things that happened that aren't relevant to the podcast at all. Like any of the subjects that are being discussed.
But this is okay, this is for context of upcoming podcasts.
Okay.
Like, it's important so that nobody's confused about what's going on.
Alright.
A little enthusiasm, please?
Alright.
Okay, so now will you do an outro, please?
Thanks for listening to this. I don't know if you made it all the way through. I wouldn't.
Oh my god, we should have a thing to see who made it all the way through, where it's like, if you made it all the way through, write this code word in the comments.
People will just skip to the end.
But they won't know.
Well, okay, they'll see that everyone is leaving that word in the comments and think they're supposed to do it. This is like those old like PC games where they would have cheats in the manual and in the readme to make sure you read them.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like it would have, they'd be like the readme.txt, and then at the end of it it'd be like, thanks for actually reading this, here's like, they would have like infinite health do this, infinite lives do this.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, well anyway, people can go around it, that's fine, but what's the code word?
I don't know, because you just invented it then.
What's the coolest thing in your room?
The cat, I guess.
There we go. Code word is cat.
Good night, everybody.